Hi Leo, here is a general look at your solar chart for November 2016, and this is a time to get busy on the home base, or because of a home base or a location or property. This is also a time to take care of family matters, tie up loose ends, get organized, not necessarily in that order, or even, both of those things, but they often do come together. And you'll be looking more inwards, you'll be mulling things over, you'll be contemplating. The mental focus could revolve around a community, a neighborhood, a location, the same list of things I've just said: property, family, extended family, tribe, and there could be more consideration being given to something to do with the past, a legacy, or something to do with the traditions of the past going on into the future, or a decision made in the past, something that has a thread coming from the past into the present. And it tends to be a mentally busy or maybe more sociable time in and around a base of operations, or because of a base of operations, and you could even be on the move more at this time. And then Mercury moves on the 13th and goes into a more fun, innovative, playful sector of the chart. Now you enjoy your playing ideas, speculating, and thinking, more creatively, and maybe even becoming more free in your expression romantically as well. From the 23rd to the 25th, Saturn and Mercury's degrees come together. So mental pressure there, or maybe more kind of heavier schedule, or communications, more serious there, getting your head around things, maybe also vehicles, travel, transport, and communications equipment that could be part of the challenge there. But, and this is a big but, between the, actually the last 10 days of the month, so running parallel with that one, Saturn, Mercury, we've got Jupiter on Saturn, and that's in a good way. And that can mean that you're on, you're having this stronger focus, this more seriousness, but you're on a learning curve, and it's opening doors. So it can be opening doors physically in the world, and mentally, in your mind. And an important expert or teacher or teaching could be coming your way. Also, you seen as the teacher or teaching, more of that going on there, and you feeling as though it's important to get it right, or it's important that that standard is reached, either whether it's from you or it's coming to you from another. And then we have Venus until the 12th in actually quite a sociable, playful mood. You could be connecting more with children. Now, children and playful are often put together, but sometimes it's just not like that. However, it is Venus. So it's likely that there's a feeling of sharing, a feeling of a friendliness, whether it's to do with children, or indeed whether it's friends, people you like to be with, people you like to hang out with, places you like to be, activities you like to be involved in that give you this feeling of empowerment, of hey, I really got something out of that. So, and also it has a kind of a warm feel to it, and hobbies could be emphasized as well. Leisure activities could be more emphasized during this time, and it is a time for you to be more in touch with that less self-conscious inner child, which can help with the position that the Sun is in and Mercury are in, at the same time as Venus is here, because then that brings in that more playful, creative element there. So thinking creatively about things. And then from the 12th, Venus moves and goes into this very practical area, and it's going to be the same area as Mars is in. Actually, Mars is left there by then. So anyway, Mars was in there at the beginning of the month. But with Venus, that's a very different kettle of fish. Venus goes into this area of practical service, service providers. So there's always this friendship thing potential with Venus. There's always this sharing thing potential. So there could be a nice interchange with somebody who is a service provider, who is a health provider. So even if you don't get everything resolved, the interaction was probably pleasant. Okay, and Venus is also about money, so it can mean that there is money involved here with service providers, health providers, but also you as the service or health provider yourself. And that tends to bring some flow in there. In the last week, there's likely to be more intensity, deeper questioning related to relationships, or related to whatever's going on. You know, there's more riding on it. It presses a button maybe, or you feel somebody or something is bugging you, and try to be as clear as you possibly can that your inner emotional clutter that we all have is not being projected out onto them. Okay, so about Mars, yes, Mars is in this very practical area. It's to do with getting organized. It's to do with maintenance, repairs, but also just getting things running in the way that you want to on a practical level, dealing with that sort of stack of paperwork over there in the corner, or the to-do list, or whatever it is, and you can get a lot done with daily duties here, because you will need physical action to in a dynamic kind of a way, but you can actually, yeah, you can get a lot done there. And then Mars, so Mars is in there for just over a week, and then Mars moves, and for most of the month Mars is in your opposite sign. So that means this interchange between others, particular others, maybe in just one-to-one situations or in very, very small group situations, means that these personal professional exchanges are likely to be dynamic, lively. Because of another, there could be more need for you to be the leader, or to make the decision, or to take the action, and don't allow them to push you before you feel ready in yourself to do that, whatever that thing is. Because the Mars energy can come at you, the Mars energy can come through you. And there's often a kind of a jumble of the both with all of the planets, because the energies go both ways around. Once again, patience may be needed here, and just try to keep things on an even keel, stand your ground, don't be rushed, don't be hasty, and everything should be fine. And then from the 22nd, there's a brighter, less inward vibration around, because the sun moves into this more playful area to connect it with children, the affairs of children, even grandchildren, you know, youngsters in general, whether they're yours or not. And to you there maybe more center stage, feeling more center stage, but probably feeling the light of appreciation. So just bask in that. That's the way to go with that one, I would say. That would be my choice. And of course, you know, maintaining modesty at all times. But yeah, just kind of basking in it. Now, there's a couple of really good things going on for you, Leos. One is that we have now Jupiter very much on your side. Jupiter's moved now into Libra, and will be there until the October 2017, and also the planet I don't usually mention, which is Uranus. But first of all, just to mention of Saturn, which is also well disposed towards your sign, very well disposed, and this puts her in in the sort of angle which will underpin you if any speculative investment enterprises, creative projects, hobbies, leisure pursuits, anything like that, any playful, anything that you get a lot out of it. So I keep using this word playful, but for some people, they just really adore the work they do, even though others of us might think, oh, yeah, that looks like it's quite hard. But so whatever it is that you want to be creative about, with Saturn there, you have to always be persevering, turn up, do the work, whatever the work is about, in that kind of dogged sort of way of Saturn, and take on more responsibility, work harder to get these things together. And this can be around these enterprises, these activities, these projects. Also, affairs of children comes in here again. And all of that can put a heavier burden on your shoulders. And it's difficult at times, but with Saturn rules time. So anything we achieve under the current placement of Saturn will stand us in good stead and stand the test of time, even though in the moment we have to work a bit harder at it. And you, Leo, is born the 5th to the 10th of August, or with 13 to 18 degrees rising, you're going to feel that energy the most this forecast period. Just for your information, Jupiter on Pluto in the second half of the month helps you with the power to succeed through intuitive evaluation, through the through the assessment, the inner, the inner sensing. Or indeed the inquiry, the research. So it's not all about intuitive stuff. It's inquiry. It's research. It's reading between the lines. It's reading the small print. And so there can be a feeling of things being out of your personal control, and a little bit of almost like coercion or maneuvering going on, but often is the way I've noticed with Pluto, if we concede, if we give ground a little bit, then we get the breakthrough and the green light. So it could be about a negotiation type situation. That is one example that pops into my mind, but it can be coming out in different ways. Like it can be quite an emotional situation. However, because Jupiter is involved here, it's a powerful situation. It can mean that something realized or set in motion now can lead to good things, but try not to be too blinkered and keep your integrity, because also when Jupiter and Pluto are around, there can be unscrupulousness, just kind of in the air, to do with somebody or something, maybe whose language you don't even quite understand properly. So there's always that as well. But having said that, Jupiter is in a brilliant position for you at the moment, and so you maintain your upbeat frame of mind, and Jupiter is in this area of how your mind is working. So you're learning about your mind. This would be a good thing for you to be doing. You're learning, you're training over these many months. Jupiter's here until October 2017. You're learning about how your mind works. You're learning about how your perceptions work. And the more you do that, the more clear and calm you get within. So therefore, this particular one here in the second half of November, Jupiter-Pluto, it might mean that there is something laid in place if you've gone through the steps with this integrity and with this clarity and this inner calm, that is really, really beneficial for you and will be in the future. Yes, and you Leos born the 1st to the 10th of August, or with 10 to 18 degrees rising, going to feel that energy the most this forecast period, although those of you on either side will be feeling it as well, and the whole sign feels it, but that is the sort of like the center of it there. And then we have Uranus. And I don't usually mention Uranus, but Uranus is again to do with the mind. So here we've got Jupiter coming into an area of the mind, and Uranus has been in this area of the mind in your sun sign chart for a very long time. And again, this is a brilliant chance for you to get higher education, learn more stuff, pile more stuff into the intellectual brain. But this is also a very, very good time for you to take steps to understand how your mind works. So using your mind to understand your mind. Tricky, but there are ways, is to understand how much power maybe your mind has over you. So that's an interesting sort of one. Also, it would be a time when you will have amazing, insightful experiences through any kind of education, formal or informal, you're getting into. So you're going off somewhere and sitting in class, or you're actually just doing it on the internet, or you've got a book, or you are in an environment with certain people, or just nature is teaching you. So whatever it is, you are learning, and you could get these mini epiphanies with Uranus there. And more or less Uranus is at 20 to 23 degrees at the moment, and affecting those of you born within the middle of August. Most, but it is still the whole sign. So those of you from earlier in August may already be understanding. Remember, Uranus is a generational planet, so it moves very, very slowly. So it's been in this part of your chart for about the last 5 and a bit years now. 5 years? Yeah, about 5 years. So maybe you can relate what I'm saying to something. Also, sudden opportunities to travel. But also this kind of revelatory, inspiring, enlightening and awakening energy is very potent and very, it could change your life. Where Uranus is, especially with your perspective on things, and it's like the scales fall from your eyes and you see something for the first time. So interesting that. And then Pluto I've mentioned before, but again I will mention, and that's in your house of health and work. So the Pluto thing is about us being pushed around by this Pluto energy. Sometimes we feel that there's this control going on there, coming onto the area to do with our health. So we're feeling controlled by a health situation, or we're feeling controlled by a work situation, or we're feeling controlled with daily sort of running repairs or maintenance. So whether it's health, whether it's work, whether it's daily duties, we feel that we have to do these things because this kind of forces that we can't quite get a grip of is controlling us. And so all you can do, and all I know to say to you to do, is keep drilling down to underlying factors. Drill right down. And it often, of course, goes back to early life, emotional patterns, no matter what is going on. Again, these two positions of Jupiter and Uranus are very, very special for your sign at this time, especially, well, not especially, but I would say for the rising signs as well, even more. Rising sign Leo people, even more. So yeah, and it's will help you with getting the clarity here, and beginning to understand that maybe you don't have to do X, Y, Z every day just to underpin, ABC, whatever it is, and you can change that. So at the moment, those of you born 7th to the 9th of August, or 14 to 17 degrees rising, are going to be feeling that energy the most. And that's it for November. If you know your rising sign, your moon sign, listen to those. And this material is written up on DianaGarland.com. And I'll see you the next time.